Yo, what's up, my beautiful people? In today's video, I'm going to talk about everything related to entries on the lower time frame using confirmation entries, the most simplified version that I know. It's not my favorite way to enter. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to talk about the 7 to 8, maybe 10 different ways that I know that you could possibly enter the market on the lower time frame. The ones that I think are the best, the ones that I use, as well as ones that other people use. I'll talk about the ones that I prefer and show you those in future episodes. But today I want to keep it very, very simple and show you how to enter on a lower time frame. So one of the first things we're going to do is this. So you're going to see, we're going to look for a demand zone or supply zone that causes a nice break of structure to the upside, has momentum, and then I want to see price come back down. And then what I'm going to look for in the lower time frame is just a simple same thing as this, right? Same thing on the higher time frame I want to see in the lower time frames. I'm going to see a break of structure, price come back, pull back to a demand zone, and I'm just going to place my entry there and look for price to go higher. My first target is going to be this high, and then my next target are going to be highs along the left. So it's a very simplified way to enter. There's pros and cons to it. One, you can just get in really easily without much trouble, and you don't miss a lot of entries. But the other problem with it is that it's not as refined, and so therefore sometimes what you'll see is price will break structure like this, come back, take you out, right? Take me out, and then it will go without you. And then you could have gotten this entry, which is why sometimes I like to wait for what this is called like a fake or a sweep of liquidity, or just faking out other smart money traders. But anyways, so let's dive right into it. So the first thing we're going to do is identify a demand zone on the 15-minute. I'm just going to keep it simple. I use other time frames, which I talk about in my other videos. You can check in the description. Well, not description, on my channel. Cool. So, yeah. So basically we see price break to the upside, has momentum, has imbalance, boom, comes back, taps this demand zone. Right, we get a break of structure right here. We're looking to take price higher. This would be our first target, and then potentially could be a second target. So we're gonna drop to the lower time frame. Let's use our handy dandy motherfucking bar replay. Oh yeah, and sorry I haven't posted videos in a while. I've been on vacation, hanging at my parents' house, New Year's, things like that. So happy New Year if you're tuning along and it's your first time finding me. Cool. So price comes in here. Taps a refined zone, which I really love when price does that. So it taps into this refined demand zone, right? So where your refined zones, all it is just like unmitigated demand zones. So this is unmitigated on the 1 minute. This is unmitigated inside bar. This was mitigated by this, right? You can see price comes, range moves up, boom, and it taps it and then goes higher. So this is an unmitigated demand zone that price could refine into. Again, you don't need to use refined zones. That's something I'll talk about later, but I do like it. So we see price come in here, sweeps a lot of these equal lows, sweeps this out, and then we rip to the upside, which I really like. So the first way to enter is what's called an MS. So you just look for price to basically come down, have a little internal break of structure, come back, tap a demand zone, and then enter. So now that I'm looking at this, you can see that price comes down, forms this low here, pulls back, and then goes here. So technically, this is your MS, and then price goes higher, and so this is your demand zone. So technically, you could have already entered, right? So you could have entered right here with a 4 pip stop, but I personally just didn't want to use a 4 pip stop, and the other reason was that I wanted to see it come a little bit lower, and I didn't like this small break of structure. But again, to follow the rules that we're talking about, you have an MS, momentum shift, that's all that means, momentum shift. Price shifts, breaks this high, and then goes higher. But I wanted to see another break, so you had this MS here. So if I'm unsure about this one, I'll wait for a proper one. So we had this break up, price comes back, taps into this demand zone on the edge, and then price decides to go higher. So your first target would, first partial would probably be here, so 3.5 R. So you take maybe either 25% or 50%, whatever you want to do. And then our next target, like I said, are highs on the left. So there's like highs right here, right, that you could target for 7%. And you could take partials, things like that. So you take a partial, and then your final target could probably be here for 8%, which I don't think it even hits that. Yeah, cool. So it doesn't hit that. So that's the first way. I'm going to show some more examples of this. So let's just fast forward price. And I already have the examples drawn out just to like save time. So yeah. Oh shit, I missed one. Sorry, I forgot I had it on the 15-minute. Or I had it on the 1 hour, sorry. Cool, so let's drop into this one over here. Let's go to the 1 minute. Now again, I'm trying to show you every possible entry so that I want to share wins and losses. I don't want to just share wins because a lot of people can share only wins. Cool, so what do we see? We see a low, then another low, and then price breaks that low, and then comes down and breaks this low. So technically this is our MS. Sorry, I went through this really fast. So then, yeah, we see like multiple MSs, multiple breaks of structure, imbalance, which makes it a lot better in my opinion. So then price comes in, boom, taps this zone, takes you out, and then runs higher. Now again, do you have another way to enter? Well, there's no MS, right? Because this is your high. If you look, there's no break. So this would be your high. And then you'd look for price to come back here or here. And it doesn't. And in the future episodes, I will talk about other ways to enter and better entry criteria. But again, this is what I was talking about earlier. It could come down, take you out, and continue higher. That's why you want to have specific things you want to look for. Everyone's different. Personally, I would probably take this trade just because I like this clearing of the lows and then this little like Wyckoff type formation and then this strong move to the upside with imbalance. And then, yeah, you just get taken out and that's that. Now, if you're someone who likes to play continuations, which I'll talk about in future episodes, there is a continuation play right here. If you're following current structure, this is your break of the high. Price then comes and breaks again, confirming now even more as we're breaking more things to the left that price does want to go higher. Boom, it comes back, taps into this zone, and then we just rip to the upside. And that's one of the things about playing continuations is they're great, right? More confirmation, more highs being broken, everything to the left is telling you that price wants to go higher. The problem with it is that sometimes price doesn't do this. Sometimes price just, you know, rips to the upside, little tiny pullbacks, and you barely get missed, or it only goes to 50% and then goes higher. So that's the problem with taking those. Or price could decide it wants to come back down here, fill up these in unmitigated zones, and then go higher. And that's why there's pros and cons to everything. So that's why if someone tries to tell you that one thing's better than the other, or one entry is this and that, no, you just need to test and figure out what makes sense to you and what confirmation you want to see based on your back testing, and then it will work. You don't need to follow like this person's better, this person's better, this person said this person said that. Like, no, just test. Like literally just test. Cool, so that's a -1 plus like, I don't know, like 5 or 6% on the other trade. No trades within here, and that's what I'm gonna share. So look, you wait. If you had just taken this straight up off the higher time frame, you would get taken out, but you waited for confirmation, which we never got, and we broke to the low. So once we break, I don't enter like that. So yeah. And then let's see. Yeah, so this is one of my favorite ones. So price comes in, and then we see price moving down slowly. One thing I really like is I don't like when price just rips into here and then does this. I want to see like nice slowing down of price coming into the zone. So we see the slowing down. This is our low, which means this is our high. Price comes in, and then we don't get an entry, right? Because you would have waited for an MS here, and you would have waited for price to come back, and then you would have entered. And this is what I was talking about earlier. This is one of the entries that I'll talk about in the future, is that if you had considered this as your high, and you saw, boom, one, mitigation to mitigation, boom, break this minor internal structure, price pulls back, you could have entered here and then gone higher, or you could have dropped to a lower time frame. Once you've seen this happen, you could have dropped to like a seconds chart and then entered on this and then gone higher. There's a lot of ways to enter, and again, I'll talk about them in future videos. That's what this whole series is about. But yeah, one thing I do want to address really fast is if you're having problems with psychology, which is like, missing it, like, so let's say you miss a trade like this. Like a lot of people have problems with like fear of missing out and not sticking to their plan, and like they get messed up, or, that last trade they took a loss and they couldn't handle that. I dealt with that for a very, very long time. Like psychology was something that like messed with me for a very long time. I didn't know what the heck to do. I read Trading in the Zone. I read all the books about, just understand probabilities, X, Y, Z. But I really believe that these problems are like on an internal, deep-seated emotions that you need to deal with and feelings that you need to deal with. They're not just like some simple thing you just like make a saying and it goes away. You really need to resolve these issues on a deep internal level. That's why, like, when I worked with this guy named Pat Bailuni, he does like trading psychology stuff. He really helped me. I did this thing called the 12-week challenge, where basically each week he takes you through ways to fix certain things and ways to get better at like dealing with losses, dealing with FOMO, like really deep exercises that help you resolve those issues so that you no longer feel anxiety, you no longer feel, hesitation, all these things that you feel, you don't really feel them very much anymore. Like you still have the emotions there a little bit, but for the most part they go away. So he has another 12-week challenge that's coming up in, I think, a few weeks. He actually gave me a discount code for all of you guys that are my subscribers called Apex 5. If you check in the description, you can find a link to the 12-week challenge to learn more about it. You can see testimonials, other people that went through it, their results after. There's people that passed their challenges and stuff like that as a result of this challenge. So yeah, if you want to learn more about it, check the description. Make sure to use my code at checkout. And yeah, I will get like an affiliate kickback just to be transparent. Like obviously, I have to be transparent with you guys, but like I believe it's amazing, right? I did it myself. It's awesome. It's not like I'm really getting that much, but I just want to make sure I help you guys out, in every part of your journey. I've given these free videos out. I'm not making a course. I'm not trying to tell you guys, I'm not trying to sell you some course. So I'd rather at least give you some benefit. Anyways, let's get on. If you're not worried about that, let's get on to the video. So let's see. This is what I was talking about earlier about you can play continuations, right? Entry here, entry here, entry here, right? Because we broke structure. That's what I'm talking about. There's plenty of ways of entering that I will talk about in future videos. Oh yeah, so let's go on. I forget where the other entry, they're over here. Okay, cool. So we had this mess around here. I just waited till we broke out before I even really tried to play any kind of entries in here. But there was entries like you can see here. There's stuff in here. I just personally didn't want to mess with it or show it for the video because it's a little confusing. Cool. So let's go to the 15-minute. Cool. We have this zone here. Price taps in. Let's go to the 1 minute. All right, so again, doesn't matter the time of day. This is during Asia. Anything works, right? Price comes down, low, high, boom, we break the high, MS. There's your demand zone. Price comes in, you place the entry right below here, and then price goes up. That's your first take profit, and then that's about 4%. So you would have maybe taken like 1% if you're taking 20% off. And then price comes down and takes you out, and then you look for another entry. Price comes deeper into the zone. We don't really get a momentum shift, right? Price doesn't really break. So this is your high, this is your low, price breaks below it. Boom, then we get an MS. So this is your low, high, boom, MS, momentum, along with imbalance. Price comes in, you take an entry and take a loss. And that's all I want to share today. It's a simple way of entering. It's just a simple confirmation entry. It's just a momentum shift. All you're looking for is the same thing you're looking for in the higher time frame. You're just looking for price to move to the upside, come back down. Dude, what is that lag? Come into a demand zone, then you're looking for the same thing, price to come down. Boom, break the high, come back, tap into a demand zone. Boom, you're just looking for the exact same thing on the lower time frame. All it is just a confirmation of what you've seen on the higher time frame. Instead of just placing an entry on every demand zone or every supply zone, this allows you to farther refine your entry. And once you can do that, you increase your percentage of risk to reward. You can get higher RRs, but you take more losses. So are you willing to deal with that? I am, But I also prefer to look for a little bit more in my entries, and I'll explain that in future videos. So if you want to see those future videos, stick around. Also, if you're looking to join a 12-week challenge, check the description, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.